It's the day after the election, and we don't have a winner. Will it be President Trump? Will it be Joe Biden? We'll review the electoral map, plus take a look at yesterday's coverage. All that and more. I'm Bobby Eberle. This is a 13-minute news hour.
God bless the United States of America.
All right, friends, welcome to the show. Happy Wednesday. I know it's not the happiest Wednesday that we're used to having. We don't know the results. President Trump was ahead in so many states, and then they just called things off. But if you're new to the show, thank you so much for being here. We're going to talk about the election because that is the big news. And yesterday was just amazing, folks. And I wish things would run like they should. All right, outside of not being in your home state and you have to vote absentee, people should go to the polls. They should cast their votes, and then we should decide a winner. The states, the map should look like this. Going in, we had this blank slate. So that's how it starts. We have this, and then as the night goes on, we start filling in states. They start throwing in West Virginia, all the Dakotas, Florida, you name it. They start filling in a little bit by little bit until we end up not with a winner last night, but with this map. This is where things ended up, and it's absolutely crazy, folks. You have these undecided states. President Trump's ahead, and they just decide to stop counting for the night. And Fox News and other places won't call things for the president. He is ahead, he's statistically ahead, and they won't call it. And again, they just stopped the votes. It's absolutely outrageous. So I want to go state by state on some of these undecideds. The numbers are changing all the time, but as of right now, here's what's going on in some of these swing states. Let's take a look. All right, so first let's look at Georgia. As of right now, President Trump leads 50.48% to 48.3%. It is a difference of about 100,000 votes. President Trump is leading by about 100,000 votes in Georgia. And yet, in their big urban population center, they said they had some water main break. I guess that means you can't count ballots, and they stopped counting. They're just done for the night. They're going to come back later. How much confidence do you have in that? I mean, give me a break. He's up by 100,000 votes in Georgia. They don't call it for him. Let's go to the next state. All right, next, let's take a look at Michigan, because President Trump won that last time. He is leading again in Michigan. The latest results, 49.47% for President Trump, 48.98% for Joe Biden. That puts President Trump up around 20,000 votes as of now. Razor thin margin in Michigan. Very, very close. Actually, earlier this morning, I looked and it was 10,000. So some pro-Trump votes have come in Michigan. That's a crucial state. But all of these in the Rust Belt were so close. And again, we're still waiting. Why these votes weren't counted on Election Day is just beyond me. That's Michigan right there. Let's move on. All right, so then we have North Carolina, 15 electoral votes. Take a look at what's going on. President Trump leads there too, 50.09% to 48.69%. That is a difference of about 80,000 votes. 80,000 votes, the president is ahead. They haven't called North Carolina. They haven't called Georgia. They haven't called North Carolina. The team Trump is confident that they're going to win those states. So why haven't they been called? It's baffling, folks. Next state. All right, so next, let's take a look at Nevada, because this is a state that President Trump did not carry in 2016. But again, you have business owners, casino operators, other vendors in Nevada that are fearing more Democrat lockdowns, and they should go for President Trump. We need to reopen society. We need to get people, not just casino owners, but all people back to work, earning a living, paying their own bills, not relying on the government. We can keep this country safe, folks, for that small percentage who's actually vulnerable to coronavirus. If you're 70 years old and younger and relatively healthy, 99.9% chance of survival. People need to get back to work. I think Nevada people realize that, and that is why it's so close. Right now, it is 49.23% for Joe Biden, 48.59% for Donald Trump. That means Joe Biden is ahead by less than 8,000 votes and 67% reporting. That would be a nice pickup for President Trump, not one that he carried in 2016. All right, so now let's take a look at Pennsylvania. All right, friends, Pennsylvania. President Trump spent so much time there. They are embracing him in Pennsylvania. Joe Biden came out saying that he was going to ban fracking. He's on video. Kamala Harris, ban fracking. She's on video. President Trump hammered that home. The energy industry would be devastated under Biden, Harris, and that message played well in Pennsylvania. As it stands right now, again, before they just called it a night, President Trump in this Pennsylvania with 20 electoral votes, he's ahead 55.75% to 43.06%. That is a difference, folks, of close to 700,000 votes that President Trump is ahead in Pennsylvania. And then the other remaining state, the razor-thin, razor-close Wisconsin race. Let's take a look at that. So as it stands right now, we have Joe Biden up 49.57% to 48.94%. That is with 3.2 million votes cast. That is Joe Biden leading by about 20,000 votes. 20,000 votes in all of Wisconsin. That's where things stand right now in the presidential race with these undecideds. And some of these should definitely be decided, and they should all be in the Trump column. It is amazing and just stunning that we don't know. So both candidates came out last night. Here's a few words from Joe Biden.
But look, we feel good about where we are. We really do. I'm here to tell you tonight, we believe we're on track to win this election. We knew because of the unprecedented early vote and the mail-in vote that it was going to take a while. We're going to have to be patient until the hard work of tallying the votes is finished.
All right, blah, blah, blah. He says they won Arizona. They feel good about Wisconsin and Michigan, and he says they are going to win Pennsylvania. That's what Joe Biden says. Then later on in the evening, President Trump addressed his audience, and here's what he said.
The results tonight have been phenomenal, and we are getting ready. I mean, literally, we were just all set to get outside and just celebrate something that was so beautiful, so good. Such a vote, such a success. The citizens of this country have come out in record numbers. This is a record. There's never been anything like it. To support our incredible movement, we won states that we weren't expected to win. Florida, we didn't win it. We won it by a lot.
All right, the main thing to take from President Trump's speech, and I think it's a sentiment that we all feel, is one of frustration. Folks, President Trump had the ground game, had the plan, had the energy, had the enthusiasm, has the message and the achievements, is winning in Georgia, winning in North Carolina, winning in Michigan, winning in Pennsylvania, and then they just call it a night. They say, we're done, we'll come back tomorrow. Maybe you'll know by the end of the week, the way these ballots are still being collected even in Pennsylvania. It's outrageous, and the president has every right to be frustrated. So next, I want to give you a little bit of update on the Senate races. But first, I have to tell you, folks, this is always the part in the show where I push for subscribers. And back in late April, early May, I had an idea. It's the election year. It's presidential election year. I was hanging out at about 60,000 subscribers, and I said, hey, let's make a push. 100,000 subscribers, 100K by election day. Let's do it. And everyone, our moderators, our whole team jumped in. All of you folks helped spread the word. We kept growing and growing and growing. I thought it was great to build some teamwork and that we'd make a good run at it. But then we got closer and closer and closer. And so, folks, I have to just tell you, I've got to talk about subscribers because 100K by election day? No. How about on election day, we hit 100,000 subscribers. 100,000 subscribers, 100K on election day. And I have to just thank you. I have to thank all of you for all your hard work, spreading the word, the excitement, and just being part of the show. It's absolutely amazing. When we started this, I had no idea it would grow to this level, and it's all because of you. Thank you so much for this 100K. Let's move on to the next one. Let's keep going. So please subscribe, folks, and please tell your friends. All right, the Senate. Let's cover that really quickly, because Republicans went in having to defend a lot more seats than the Democrats, a whole lot more. Our edge was 53 to 47, and all the talk in all the media was the Democrats flipping the Senate, taking control of the Senate. Well, we knew we were going to get Alabama. So that's basically a flip. Tommy Tuberville over Doug Jones. So you can basically move us to 54. That was kind of our starting point, 54. And then all the pundits were saying, then we'll just chop away from that. Democrats will get control of the Senate. Well, guess what? They said North Carolina is going to be gone. Maine's going to be gone. On and on and on. Well, take a look at what actually was happening. We lost Colorado, brings us down to 53. We lost maybe Arizona. That's still a mess. Possibly takes us down to 52. But look at what's going on. Susan Collins is holding her own in Maine. We could keep that seat. Tom Tillis in North Carolina, same thing. We could keep that seat. And right now, John James in Michigan actually has a lead. He is ahead in Michigan. If he pulls that out, we end up with 53 again. We're exactly where we were before. We keep control of the Senate. I hope that Michigan race goes like it should. And we got to see what is going on in Arizona. It's just very strange, very bizarre. So next, I want to give you some thoughts on the election in general and my take on some of the coverage from yesterday. All right, first, I want to take a look at the fact that President Trump has changed the electoral landscape, the makeup of the Republican Party, its constituency. And this is something that is so important to me, and one of the reasons I am such a fan of President Trump. I grew up blue collar, folks. My dad was a steel worker in Chicago. We moved to Texas. He was a pipe fitter until he died when I was 15 years old. That's the work ethic that was instilled in me. President Trump gets that. He gets it. And he sees that conservative principles, it doesn't matter if you're black, brown, white, it does not matter. It's about lifting people up. Median wages rose. They were stagnant under the Obama administration. They rose in President Trump's administration. And issue after issue after issue, it resonates with all voters. They call President Trump racist. He dominated in Florida with gains in the Hispanic community, the black community, gains that should stun the Democrats, because if they don't have identity politics, they have nothing. And President Trump, as part of his winning margin in Florida, was bringing in the Hispanic vote, bringing in the black vote. That is so important, folks, and we see it, and it was just amazing. The coverage also, I thought, was terrible during the day. They talk about potential riots. They talk about boarding up and bracing for the aftermath, as if there's a balance between people being fearful of white supremacists running amok in their cities and Black Lives Matter and Antifa. Even though the whole summer, when you look at Seattle and Portland and Chicago and Oakland and Baltimore, Philly lately, on and on and on, Minneapolis, who was rioting? Who was looting? BLM and Antifa. These people are boarding up because of far left wingers that they're afraid of. They're not spray painting on their boards on these plywood, "We support white supremacy." No, they're spray painting, "We support BLM," so that they don't burn them down and take all their stuff. We know who's going to commit the violence. It's obvious. Yet the news reports kept trying to make it as some kind of balanced deal. We got to watch out for both sides, which I thought was just pathetic. And then, of course, folks, this whole idea of what comes next. Now we are going to have litigation. We're forced to have litigation because the votes are just sitting out there. They need to be counted. States need to reform their process. If you want to have earlier voting, I mean, in Texas now, election day has basically become election month. We need to get people to the polls on election day and know the results. If you have to mail something in, you have to take personal responsibility to make sure it is sent early enough so it is received by election day, not postmarked by election day, where it just sits until they get to it, till they sort it with some folks in a back room. That's absolutely outrageous. So those are some of my takeaways. I invite you to check out right here at this link the live analysis show we did last night with my friend Rod Martin. It was awesome. A lot more analysis there. But for now, that's our show for today, folks, and I hope you enjoyed it. So please subscribe, and when you do, please hit that bell so you'll be notified, and we'll see you next time. I'm Bobby Eberle. This is the 13-Minute News Hour. Okay, friends, thanks so much for watching. And before you go, please hit that subscribe button, hit that bell so you'll be notified. And here's a special video just for you so you can watch even more of the 13-Minute News Hour. And don't forget to check out GOPUSA.com for the best in conservative news and commentary. We'll see you next time.